Hi. As you suspect, that's me. For the last 15 years of my life. I took that summer job in college and, well, I got good at it and forgot to leave. Don't get me wrong, I had fun too. I got to coach a college wrestling club for 10 years at UCF. But towards the end, I was craving an adventure. So, like most of you who are watching this, I found Delos, and I was hooked. So, like my namesake, Captain James Cook, it's the high seas life for me. So follow along as I prepare to join the 2025 World Arc. I pick up some friends and go off on an adventure. Alright, we are back here at the shop. Exciting day because we get to start. Our template on the boat worked. We should have probably filmed some of that. Maybe I'll show you what I was working with later. As you see, all my aluminum poles, 24 foot, and then the aluminum sheet metal for the hardtop. So it all came in last week. It is significantly cheaper to buy it yourself than to have someone else build it. $2,300 worth of aluminum, and I'm going to build the whole top plus the solar arch. But it helps having friends with all the abilities to bend all the pipe and everything. So we're going to get started on that. If you can kind of see down here, I've got the outline of my hardtop. It won't be a square corner like that. That was just the original size, and then we kind of bend it there. So I'll try to film as much of this as I can get. Alright, so my thought process is I'm going to start from the back and work forward because there's only two bends in the back and they're both sweeping 90s and it's on a 12-inch radius, so they shouldn't be too hard to bend those. But first I want to lay out my entire pipe and mark the dead center, and then from there, because I know my measurements of the hardtop, so from there I'll measure out to where my corners will go and forward. And that should be our easiest way to build it, I'm assuming. And then we'll do the hardest part last. So our bends didn't come out perfect, but it's aluminum, so we're going to be able to cut it. So you see that small little rise there, that's going to be for our rise. I think that's going to be plenty. And so this is for the curve at the front. I'm going to cut that piece, and that way that'll look pretty seamless there. We've been doing some practice welds this morning, trying to go around. God, they're still so ugly. They're gonna hold. I'm not worried about them holding. Like, it's solid. I cut a few of the welds off. The grain looks good. The welds look good. They just don't look good. But basically the setup we have going on here is, try and get all the way away. We've got our side on these completely level, so we know that's straight, and then we're getting ready to make a tack right here. Okay, so if you look in here, we beveled the sides. That way the metal fills in and it'll completely seal it. This piece is slightly arched, but we have it pretty much level at the joint, so that's what matters. So we'll tack weld that. And that'll give us this corner, and then we can kind of work our way around and hopefully make the outline for the frame today. All right, so this morning we are trying to hold this further away, getting ready to do the coping on the aluminum cross braces for the hardtop. So what that means is, if you look right over here, that's how you get that. When we put this cross brace on, it's going to be like a C at the end, and that's what's going to cut this, and then we'll weld those sides. So basically what we're doing right here, you mark your top dead center, and to do that, we've got this. I love friends with all the tools. We've got this little level. Okay, center it on the pipe. Get it to where the bubble's right in the dead center. And then you hit the top of the hammer, and it makes a nice little ding for you. So that's our top dead center. Now, this is the bottom of the pipe, I know. But it won't matter because we're cutting a complete circle. And we marked our vertical sides there and there, so we know where the outside of the bit goes. So we're making those marks on every single one. So then we take our hole saw bit, core through it, okay? I'm gonna rig up a jig to hold the pipe and this. That way I'm not freehanding it. He's already got one for the coping. I'm just gonna make a way to set on the pipe. So now that I know exactly how much, because each of those pipes are cut exactly the same, I'll measure it in, and that way once we have our top dead center, our marks, I can go ahead and start rigging up for all the cutting.
Sailing through life's sea, I've been with Jesus Christ, my guide and helmsman. Waves come, the wind blows strong, but faith guides me, my harbor is certain. I sail with faith without fear in my eyes, for I know God.
So today's kind of exciting. We're gonna test fit the hardtop. We're gonna go unload it from the truck right now, bring it over, and set the frame on top of the bimini top that we have there currently, and see where it sits, where we want to put the legs, and then I'll run back to Mike's place to go do the coping of the legs, and then I'll run back here, stick them in place. We can mark them all out, and that'll be where our legs are. Getting closer.
God keeps me in his power. In every storm, he calms me and leads me to.
All right, we got the top sitting up here. I don't know if you can see that. So my stays, my aft stays, back stays, are gonna go inside of the top there, inside that last cross brace. Because we already welded it, I have to undo these. So what I did is I took both my spinnaker lines from the top and put them back here to the back cleats. Well, these tie down points over here for my jack stays, and crank those down with the winches I have on the mast, creating all the tension. So now these are nice and loose. Loose-ish. We're going to mark them with electrical tape so we know exactly how far to back them off or where to put them back to, and slide them through and put them back on.
The promised land. The days are long, the nights are dark, but the star of hope always shines. The compass of the word directs me, and prayer strengthens me on the journey.
All right, as you can see, we need to slide it back, but that's why we just put it inside. I'll go over why I unscrewed the first one and just popped out the little bolt on the second one. I forget what that's called right now. But we're gonna slide this back, line it up so we can start taking measurements for legs. All right, we're back here at the shop. We're going to now cut the legs. We took our measurements of roughly where we want the legs to go. We added a couple inches, so we're gonna get them all, see how they fit, and then we'll cut them down again to fit the actual length. And from there we can go ahead and weld the legs on. So I'm just gonna cut some of them down to the enlarged size and cope them and run them back to the boat.
Sail with faith without fear in my eyes, for I know God keeps me in his power. In every storm he calms me and leads me to the promised land. The days are long, the nights are dark, but the star of hope always shines.
So we're back over here at the shop. We're getting ready to weld the legs today, so I'm going to do some prep. So we know we took our measurements for the legs and where they're going to sit. So we're going to sit one leg here over this weld. So I'm going to grind down these bumps to where it's nice and smooth here, and then I'll grind this leg where it'll sit flush on here pretty good. See how it's got that little angle there? We're going to grind that down until it sits on top of that real smooth, and then we will tack that up. Be nice and straight and level. We already took our measurements, so hopefully we can get the legs done tonight.
The compass of the word directs me, and prayer strengthens me on the journey. I sail with faith without fear in my eyes, for I know God keeps me in his power. In every storm it leads me to the promised land. I can face any challenge with the strength that comes from above, for I know that God's love accompanies me. And victory is certain, soon I will reach it. I sail with faith without fear in my eyes, for I know God keeps me in his power. In every storm
this is what we got done. Front glass is in, front windshield is done. Hard top is painted and installed. I gotta remove that stuff off the top. Side window still needs to be framed, peeled, and installed. Okay. Other side, believe it or not, there is a window there. It's already put in. Just gotta finish putting the frame on it. Excuse the boat mess, but we are getting close. I'll go over. So as you noticed up here, there's nothing connecting, so the air can flow in. Now, you're right, we might get some splashes, but we're still gonna get plenty of ventilation here, and it'll create, that way the wind's not hitting it like a stop sign and trying to go around. The wind will have somewhere to shear off to. So for any boat nerds who know how much that's gonna slow me down while sailing, I don't care. I am protected from the weather within this thing.